My costume right now is basically like the Steelers defense. Just like the Steelers defense, just like the Bengals defense, we're all matching. We also got NFL player. We got him with swag. We got the coat. We got the chain. And then we're also dressed up like a professional with the rest tape and the X on it. It hurt a lot. If you're not a professional, don't do it. It hurts. So it was not fun on Sunday for either of us. Part of me is very glad that a certain third member who sometimes comes on this show is not here.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys, joined by my co-host, Gage Berdovich. Happy Halloween, everybody. We're a day late here on recording, so we're at Halloween. Happy Halloween. Gage, you ready for all the Christmas music and everything coming up our way right now? Because as soon as Halloween's over, that's what they do.
I feel like it's already started a little bit in certain places. Like the Walmart that I work at, it's been a little, I don't want to say Christmassy, but certain people are dressed up in Christmas clothes. Certain clothing racks have ugly sweaters on them. And let me tell you, I understand why they call them ugly sweaters. Because boy, are those things ugly.
So only question I got there with that is, which is uglier, the ugly sweaters or whatever that was that Pittsburgh wore Sunday night in that game? Man.
I have no idea what that was, but awful. I'm not too sure what was worse, the jerseys or the defensive performance.
Both
because
pretty bad.
It blows my mind. And like, I like Tomlin. Always been a winning head coach, never a losing season, but it's got to stop. Like he said in his press conference the other day that Terrell Austin was going to remain defensive coordinator. Why? This was supposed to be an all-in year. They spent big on the defense. They traded and paid to overhaul the receiving room and fix the culture. We saw those flags on Sunday night. Not too sure if that culture is fixed. They told everybody this was the reset and the run. And instead, they've been blown up 2 primetime games in the last few weeks, and the product looks like a team that forgot what football is. Against the Packers, it was embarrassing. Pittsburgh lost 35-25 and got shoved around like they were a high school squad playing against an NFL team. They got outcoached and out-adjusted in the second half. 2 weeks ago, Thursday Night Football against Cincinnati, they also choked. 33-31 on a last-second field goal. It's not bad luck. Those are coaching failures. These are Mike Tomlin failures. Now, I did a little bit of research because I wanted to find out where Terrell Austin came from. And I want to see if I can pull it up here real quick because I did not, plan for this. In 2018, Terrell Austin might be a familiar name to certain Bengals fans. The Bengals became the first team in NFL history to allow 500-plus yards in 3 straight games: Kansas City, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans. This was with the Bengals having Austin as defensive coordinator. Now, if you also look at his ranks as defensive coordinator, outside of his first year with Pittsburgh, they were awful. First year in Pittsburgh, the squad led the league in turnovers, which was great. It was phenomenal, and it's been nothing since. I don't know what you got to do besides go get a shutdown corner. I understand corner is probably the hardest position to play in the NFL because you give a little tug and you're getting flagged 15 yards for it, or at least 5. So it doesn't matter what you do, but something has to be done. I'm not too sure what it is. Maybe Tomlin takes over, DC calls. Maybe Terrell Austin packs his bags and I'll buy him a flight back to Cincinnati and you guys can have him back. But this has been awful. And you go from 4-1, you're now 4-3. Cincinnati and Baltimore right back in it. And I don't like this. This was supposed to be, you start out 4-1, you're probably going to win the division. Now, another game or two, you have a really hard schedule. You got the Colts coming up, you got the Chargers, you got the Bengals again. You could easily lose the next 3 and move to 4-6 and drop to second or third in the standings. And I don't like.
Yeah, and Baltimore is coming on strong right now. They're looking after last night. I mean, Miami didn't help themselves at all. They fired their GM today. Mike McDaniel's still there somehow, some way. He's made it, but no idea. Nobody knows at this point. But Baltimore's coming on strong, and Pittsburgh, like you said, the defense not been great at all. I feel kind of the same way though about my coach as well. That defense is, I don't know what that is. I don't know what happened Sunday. You have a 14-point lead on the New York Jets at home, and you lose the game. You blow it. Breece Hall throws a touchdown pass because if you break down these plays on defense, it's a defensive breakdown both times. There was one time where early in the game, Jordan Battle comes off of the edge, free runner, and instead of just flattening Fields out, he does a stutter step, lets Fields get the play off, and then he hits him. And it's like, no! Put your face mask in his chest, knock him down. No. And then later on the 2-point conversion, Justin Fields rolls out to the right. Shamar Stewart, instead of just coming straight down the line, he goes all the way around to over, down by the goal line where there's no pressure on Fields at all. And 2-point conversion is good somehow, some way. I mean, I still watch that 2-point conversion. And I'm like, I don't know how that was called good. They reviewed it and said it was good. And you can't prove it by me.
Maybe there's a reason Shamar Stewart hasn't been playing much this season.
And, I don't think it's all, hey, he missed most of the training camp. You've had plenty. I mean, we're in week 9 now. Plenty of time to get, knowing the defensive schemes. Maybe it's not just on him. Al Golden, he's lost favor with Logan Wilson. He's wanting out. Cam Taylor-Britt, he got benched a game against Pittsburgh. Comes back and plays against the Jets. I don't know if you know what you're doing over there right now. You definitely, your younger guys aren't knowing the schemes or where they need to be at what certain time. The technique is not good on the defensive side. You give up 39 points to the Jets. It's not good. That's the most points they've scored since the Pittsburgh game. And neither one of our defenses are really good at all. They're trash. Both of them are horrible. That's why that Thursday night game that the Bengals and Steelers played was great, because it was all offense, no defense whatsoever. So if you like the offense, you'll get it, but you ain't getting no defense.
And to kind of segue between that and going back to the Halloween a little bit, my costume right now is basically like the Steelers defense. Because as you mentioned at the beginning of the show, we were supposed to record last night, and I didn't show up. So just like the Steelers defense, just like the Bengals defense, we're all matching. We also got NFL player, arriving with swag. We got the coat. We got the chain going on. And then we're also dressed up like a professional fighter, CM Punk, with the wrist tape and the X on it. Tried to do the other hand. It hurt a lot. Wrist tape, if you're not a professional, don't do it. It hurts. So, yeah, it was not fun on Sunday for either of us. Part of me is very glad that a certain third member who sometimes comes on this show is not here, because I know right now I'd be hearing it from him.
Definitely so. He was pretty happy with that performance. Me and him recorded a couple of nights ago. He was really thrilled with it, as you should. I mean, I think Tucker Kraft just got open one more time down the sideline there. But
yeah, another duck, and Kraft somehow
Kraft was all over the place, and they couldn't do anything with him. You're going as the NFL player with the swag and the CM Punk, and I was a little bit late to the show here tonight because things have been busy. But I've got the shirt that says "Sorry I'm late," and the bottom it says "I was getting my bets in." I don't want to stand up because my screen's going to go crazy. There we go. I was getting my bets in. I'm going as an NBA player. Because of what's going on right now, figuring we would just go ahead and, I'll do that. And I got the black and the orange, the Halloween colors. The Bengals are the official Halloween team of the NFL. So, NBA player.
See, I'm not too sure if you could say the Bengals are the official NFL team of Halloween or Halloween team of the NFL, when the Browns are the ones that are always disguised as NFL players. I'm not really too sure.
That's true. But I saw a lot of people dressed up last night as, I'm not sure what you would call it for the Dolphins. They had the brown paper bags over their heads last night. So yeah, I guess they were going as old Saints fans like back in the day. That's where it originated. So maybe Dolphins or Saints fans this year.
And it's crazy too. Like the Dolphins, yeah, they're not great this year, but there are teams with much worse records that are not paper bagging. If I were Dolphins fans, I would be embarrassed, and I would be calling for Mike McDaniel's head and Tua to get out of there, because it's not good. There's nothing good going on right now with Miami.
You've got two players that are really, really good for Miami. Jalen Waddle right now and Devon Achane. Both these two guys playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
And you're giving the ball to like Malik Washington out here who's fumbling the ball. Taj Washington, yeah. And then was it Westbrook Akinye out here who's dropping passes? It's like, okay, that's on you at that point in time. You've got these two playmakers who are out here. It just seems like they're picking up yards left and right. You're giving them to these guys. Tua's out here getting intentional grounding penalties 1 second after getting the ball. And you get what you deserve, Miami.
Yeah, it's not a good time right now for a lot of teams in the NFL. Not a good team for certain divisional teams of other teams in the NFL as well. There have been certain people who maybe, in our comment section, who kind of said that the Ravens will be back. The Ravens will be back. And I, called them out last week on it. And I'm not issuing an apology because screw the Ravens, but there might have been a method to the madness in that one. It's hard to come back from what were the Ravens at 1.2-5 on the season, but
1-5.
1-5, yeah. Anything can be done.
Yeah, and I believe his comment this past week, I believe it started out as poo day. So, I mean, I don't know what else you could say on that. I mean, he's pretty much right. You lose to the winless Jets at home after being up 14. I mean, I can't say anything right.
No, and Justin Fields looked like an actual quarterback this week. I mean, the dude put up numbers. Meanwhile, the defense just let him do that.
Yeah, that's something all right, I guess. Yeah, that's last week. Let's move on to this next week. Actually, before we move on to next week, let's talk about last week's picks. Gage, you went 6-6. I went 7-5. Gordon went 8-4. I'm 74-38-1. Gage is 67-45-1, and Gordon's creeping up there at 71-41-1. Gordon seems to be these last 3 weeks he's turning it on.
He's turning it on, but you know what? We're still all above 500. We are all a lot of games above 500. From down here in third place, I'll take that.
Yeah, and it's you never know from week to week. I mean, for me to go 7-5 last week after the way it started, I was like, okay, I'll take that all day, because it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I picked the Falcons in a game, and the Dolphins just destroyed them. And then we seen what the Dolphins were last night. And it's like, okay, who are the Falcons now? What is this team?
Who are the Falcons? Who are the Dolphins? But you know what they say? Any given Sunday, Monday, Thursday, sometimes a Tuesday, maybe a Wednesday.
Friday in a few weeks.
Yeah, Friday in a few weeks. Maybe you throw in a Saturday game there every once in a while. Anyone can be beat.
Yeah, obviously. And this league proves it week to week. Just when you think you've got it all figured out, it changes. So, yeah, Gage, next up, the segment we're going to go to, and this, like you said, this may be a short segment here, and that would be a segment that we've got on here that is, man, editing is going to be fun on this one here, and that brings us to our next segment.
Yeah, a pretty short one, like you said. We got 2 players back from injury, which was pretty cool. Aaron Jones came back last week. We have him activated off the IR. He's not starting this week, though, for the team because we are riding a hot hand of Zach Charbonnet and Kamani Vidal. And then we also have Lamar Jackson, who came back, as we mentioned. The dude put up 204 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, added like 13 rushing yards on the ground, got me 25.56 points. Started him over Jordan Love. I was very questionable. Do I do it? Do I not? Do I do it? Do I not? And I think it was like an hour before game time. I was like, we're doing it. Threw him right in there. And we needed that because the team I'm going against, 1-7, but they have Mahomes at quarterback. They're at Buffalo. I expect a lot of passing to happen in that game. So getting 25.5 points out of my quarterback, I'm set up right now. We're currently on a 3-game win streak. We're coming from the grave. Started 1-4, now 4-4. Injury wise, though, not much. Rashid Shaheed is the only one that's popping up on the injury report. Questionable for this week's game at the Rams with a hip injury. Let's see. It says Shaheed did not rejoin last week's 23-3 loss to Tampa Bay after exiting in the fourth quarter. But at that point, you're down by 20 points. I think you really need to re-enter the game. And then just the bye week this week, we got the Bucks on bye. So Chase McLaughlin, our kicker, is currently on the bench, and we picked up the New England kicker, Andy Borregales. Hope I pronounced your name right. I'm sorry if you didn't. If I didn't, he's been pretty good this season though. 12 of 13 on field goals, 21 extra points made, and why not take a flyer for a team that has a pretty good offense?
Yeah, if you see the disappointed look on my face I just had, the Blue Jays had nobody out, runners on second and third in Game 6 of the World Series. They get a pop-up, and then a little fly ball to left field. Kiki Hernandez catches it, and they double up the runner on second base to win Game 6. I guess we're going to look at this maybe. I don't know. This was pretty close, but man, they're going to go to Game 7 right here, and they got him. He's out. He's out. They're going to Game 7.
How do you get doubled up at second base? There's a guy in front of you, bro. It pop up the left field.
A shallow left field.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, man. I don't know what he's doing out there, but they had nobody out, runners on second and third. They may have just blown the World Series right there.
But talk about a series. We got on here last week and was like, yeah, this will probably be over by the time we come back next week. And here we're still going. The Blue Jays pitching in this series has been incredible. Yes. Trey Savage I believe he set the record or he tied the record for most strikeouts in a game for the World Series. Yamamoto has been on fire the entire series, the entire postseason. He's really been incredible. Ohtani didn't exactly pitch the best. And Clayton Kershaw able to make one last appearance in Dodger Stadium. It's been a series for sure that has actually turned exciting.
Yeah, that was Game 2 that went 18 innings. Game 2 went 18 innings. The Dodgers won that game, and I was just like, no, it was Game 3, wasn't it? Because it was in LA. It was Game 3. They ended up going up 2-1, and I was like, oh, the Blue Jays are completely out. And then the Blue Jays go and win the next 2 games to bring it back to Toronto, and you're like, okay, you win in Game 6, it's over. And then you lose this way. I hate the way this is looking.
Yeah. And yeah, we all said, you, Gordon, and I all said that it's going to end in a Dodgers win, but we want the Blue Jays to win.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays have been incredible. No one thought that it was going to go to Game 7. So for them to even be in this position, pretty darn good.
Yeah, I believe we both, I think I may have said 5. Gordon may have said 6. You may have said 6, I believe, Dodgers.
Yes.
So we all know, none of us thought that this would go to a Game 7. And if we did think it would go to a Game 7, it would have been the Dodgers up 3-2 and the Blue Jays win at home in Game 6. That's not the case. The Blue Jays hanging around. Offensively, the Blue Jays have played pretty good. You talked about the pitching, but they get on little runs on offense, and they put it away early when they do. I hope they can do that tomorrow night in Game 7 because we're getting to Game 7, guys. So,
and one other piece of MLB news this week that has an impact on me a little bit. Pirates hired a new pitching coach. Yeah, whatever. But the Minnesota Twins bring Derek Shelton in. If Shelton leads them to the postseason, to the World Series, or even just a winning record, Pittsburgh might blow up. They might everyone will take off work. Everyone will create signs that say sell the team. No one will buy tickets. And we're all just going to stand outside PNC Park and just call for nuttings.
Yeah, man, I seen that yesterday, and I was just like, oh, well, that's an interesting hire right there. Maybe of interest to somebody on this podcast. But yeah, that would be crazy if he does lead the Twins to a playoff.
And if he does, you know what? Good on him. because I think he was done so wrong by Pittsburgh, but so has everybody else that has come to be with the Pirates.
That's the problem with the Pirates and the Reds is ownership. It's not the guys out there. It's what they put out there and what they allow to be put out there. You can only do what you can only work with what they give you.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells said that you want me to cook the meal, you should let me at least shop for the ingredients, or whatever. Shop for the groceries.
But either way, it's right.
I butchered that completely, but hey, it all comes out the same in the end. So back to your fantasy segment real quick. My fantasy set, I actually had a pretty significant injury on my fantasy team. Running back who I picked up middle way through the season, and I'm like, oh yes, rookie running back Cam Scatterbo dislocates his ankle, most likely out for the season. Believe he tried to come up and play right after that, like the very next play. He's like, CTE's already seeping into him, unfortunately, but man, big loss for me right there, running back wise. I went out and I picked up Vidal, and Bijan Robinson absolutely did nothing last week for me in my fantasy league. How do you dominate the Bills and do nothing against the Dolphins? Explain that to me, Gage. Dumb it down for me.
I don't think I can. And you said with Scatabo, a dislocated ankle. On top of that, also a fractured fibula and a ruptured deltoid ligament. How? I feel bad for Giants fans. Like, they get something really good. You draft these really two good rookies. You got Dart, you got Scatabo, you pair them up with Neighbors. Like, all right, Russell Wilson's the starting quarterback. Oh man, like this really sucks. Jackson Dart's getting the start here in week, what was it, 4 or 5? Okay, this is pretty good. Scatabo's still out there. Neighbors gets hurt. Okay, well, we still got Dart. We still got Scatabo. Oh, well, Scatabo gets hurt. Can we have anything nice? Dart, what they say. They all come in threes. Not saying anything, not wishing anything on Dart. But they all come in threes.
Yeah, hopefully nothing happens to Jackson Dart there because Giants fans, I'm starting to kind of feel for him a little bit there. Like you said, Malik Neighbors had a great rookie season last year. Not a good quarterback throwing to him. You had Tommy DeVito out there, and then he finally gets Russell Wilson. It's like, okay, he gets hurt then, so he really doesn't have much of a quarterback then. And then Jackson Dart comes in. It's like, could you imagine if they just started with Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors, and Cam Scatterbo? I mean, Cam Scatterbo, they would have got off to a lot better start, that's for sure. Instead, Brian Daboll is probably going to be canned at the end.
He should be canned already.
Definitely should be. So that will lead us now into our picks. And Gage, let's get going and let's go on and let's start out with possibly the game of the week. And that will be the LA Chargers travel to Nashville to face the Tennessee Titans at 1 o'clock on CBS. The Chargers are a 9.5 point favorite. Gage, what are we thinking on this matchup here with the Chargers on the road?
I'm saying this is a Kamani Vidal legacy game. He's going to have 150 plus all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns, maybe 2 or 3 catches sprinkled in there as well. And the Chargers absolutely decimate the Titans. Nothing's going right for the Titans, so I'm not going to pick them. Give me the Chargers. Give me the points.
Yeah, the Titans are just, every week you look at the Titans, you're like, maybe there can be some improvement from them here. Maybe somebody gets some improvement. Can we get some improvement with them? No, we're not seeing much of improvement at all with this team. Chargers, on the other hand, they've kind of been, I don't know, they're kind of been a little up and down, really. They haven't looked as good as what we thought they was going to be, especially at the beginning of the year. But they're facing the Titans. It's on the road. There's no chance they do and drop this one here. I've got the Chargers winning this one. Give me the Chargers. I think that they cover. Gordon also has the Chargers with a cover, so there we go. Potential game.
Could you imagine if the Titans had like a pretty good running back or like a decent quarterback with an offensive coordinator that helped him win comeback player of the year? Maybe a decent wide receiver or two out there as well. Like, what difference this team could be?
Yeah, imagine if they had a pretty good head coach too that, wouldn't have gotten fired and went off to some other place and having success or anything like that. Just imagine if they would have had that.
Yeah, could you imagine if the head coach, like his last name rhymed with Crable.
Yeah, it'd be weird, like Bike Crable. We'll just say that if Bike Crable was the coach of this team, they'd be a whole lot better off, I believe. But they're not, and they're bad. So the
Well,
next match sucks to suck. The next matchup we got. Speaking of suck, the Chicago Bears travel to Cincinnati, 1:00 on CBS. Chicago is a 2.5-point favorite on the road. Gage, I can't say I disagree with this point spread, but what do you think here?
yeah, I think two of the biggest question marks for this game is going to be Trey Hendrickson and Joe Flacco. Hendrickson, I believe, is doubtful, so he's probably not going to play. So Shamar Stewart, you're going to get more reps, buddy. Joe Flacco is questionable. If Flacco doesn't play, Jake Browning gets the start again. Jake Browning is either going to be like, you know what, this is my team, and he'll go out and throw for 350, 4 touchdowns. Chase will have 18 catches. Higgins will have 12. And Chase Brown will be standing in the backfield like, hey, I'm still here. But it's probably not going to happen. If Flacco does play, I think you have a little bit of a different game. I'm going to roll with you. I don't like the way Chicago's looking recently. Kyle Monangai as well might be getting more touches. It's hard to tell. Caleb, depends which version of Caleb shows up. If the Caleb against Baltimore shows up, not going to happen. So give me the Bengals in this one. And obviously, with being the underdogs, they cover as well.
You had mentioned some of the injury concerns for the Bengals coming into this game. The Bears have some injury concerns of their own. All 4 of their top wide receivers set out of practice on Wednesday. Now, they all were limited in practice on Thursday, except for Luther Burden. He may not end up starting, but you'll still have DJ Moore out there, Roma Dunzier. But the Bears, like you said, they've not looked good the last few weeks. They really haven't looked like what you thought they would. They played the Saints the week before last, and then last week, they just weren't good at all. Once again, though, the Bengals, they weren't good at all either defensively. Offensively, look great. You scored 38 points in this league. You have a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter at home. You should close that out more often than not. Now, that wasn't the offense's fault. That was on the defense. But at the same time, Joe Flacco, AC joint, says he can go. He's saying that he's good to go. We'll see. Jamar Chase didn't even know Joe Flacco was hurt. I don't know if Jamar Chase even knows anything else going on right now because they asked him about leadership and about leadership on the defense, and he said, I don't know. I play offense. Fair enough. You weren't at fault that day. But, man, this one here, it's at home. I feel like the Bengals have to win this game. They've got to win to stay in the hunt. I know that they're only like a game and a half behind Pittsburgh, technically like a game, with a tiebreaker. The Ravens are coming up, man. They're coming up fast. The Bengals get a bye after this week. I think the Bengals limp to a win here. It's not going to be a pretty game. Both these teams, I mean, whatever the over is on this, I didn't look at what the over was, but I think the over is going to hit in this one because Chicago's defense isn't really all that good either, and they can put up points as well. But give me the Bengals in this one, and of course, give me the Bengals to cover because they're the dogs. And Gordon has the Bengals too as the home dogs. We're all 3 going Bengals on this one. And let me just say this. Last week, we may have had a little Steiner math on this game. That definitely backfired on me for sure. You called it last week. You're like, yeah, the Jets are winning for sure now. Yeah, that definitely happened. So, man, got to watch the math classes there.
I think you must have carried a wrong number somewhere or just did some addition wrong somewhere. But I don't think we took into consideration that Tyrod wasn't going to play. I think that threw everything off. You did include Justin Fields in that math, but you also added Tyrod Taylor's percentage to that. So I think that's what threw it all off. And I think if it wasn't for that, then you would have had a different result.
Yeah, if I would have just kept Tyrod out, if I'd have known, then the math would have added up for sure. But spent all week thinking about that and everything, and writing that out and everything, and this is what I come up with. So yeah, maybe less effort on that, more on the picks. I don't know. We'll see. The next matchup we got. The Atlanta Falcons travel to New England to face the New England Patriots at 1:00 on CBS. The Patriots are a 5.5-point favorite. Gage, so far, we've had 3 games and 3 of them that are just like, games. What do you think about this one?
I agree right there with you. This one's just another what's going to happen here game. Is Kirk Cousins starting? Is Michael Penix back? I think Penix is back, or at least has a chance to be back. I don't know. They better hope. Patriots side of things, the running back shakeup is a little interesting. Travion Henderson's being promoted to starter because Ramondre Stevenson is out this week. You'll never guess who doesn't have Travion Henderson on his fantasy team anymore, but that's beside the point. They got some other people that they can elevate from the practice squad, most notably Dearness Johnston. Spent a couple, I want to say 1 or 2 seasons with Cleveland and Jacksonville as well. Pretty good when he was starting, so I'll be interested to see how they split the carries between the backs, or even if he'll get promoted to the active team, because he may not. I don't know. Offensive-wise, Patriots, pretty good. Defensive-wise, Patriots, pretty good. Maybe this is that Mike Crable's effect or Mike Vrabel effect, whatever you want to call it. Give me the Patriots in this one. I don't see the Falcons doing anything. I mentioned this, I think, 2 weeks ago. That Falcons offense runs through Bijan. If teams stop Bijan, they stop the Falcons. What are the Patriots going to do? They're going to stop Bijan. Give me the Patriots and give me the points.
Yeah, the Patriots have been really good against the run so far this year, and that doesn't bode well for Bijan. Kirk Cousins last week was absolutely horrible. He was $180-some million Kirk Cousins because before that, he was not 1 o'clock Kirk Cousins last week at 1 o'clock. He was primetime Kirk Cousins as they get destroyed by the Dolphins. Patriots, on the other hand, they're 5-3 right now. Things are clicking pretty good. Have you ever seen a team that is 5-3 in the season trade away defensive players the way the New England Patriots are trading them away midseason, just like it's nothing?
I have no idea what they're doing. I mean, I'll go with the one that I know most about. Kyle Duggar coming to Pittsburgh. I'll take that. After the injury to Deshaun Elliott that we'll talk about in a little bit, this trade, they basically gave up nothing to get Duggar. A 6th round for Duggar and a 7th? I don't get it. I'm happy, but I don't get it.
I seen it the other day. They made 2 trades, defensive players, and I'm just like, when has a winning team leading your division trade 2 defensive players away middle of the season like this? And 2 guys that aren't just, scrubs.
Yeah.
They were like starters last year for sure.
Yeah. And even I think Duggar has gotten a few starts this year. I don't think he started the entire season, but it's not like he's been a bench warmer.
Right. I don't know, but I trust Mike Vrabel. He's a defensive guy. So I like the Patriots to win this one. But isn't this the perfect spot? Mark this down right here. Isn't this the perfect spot where the Atlanta Falcons come out and win this game? Teams they should beat, they lose to, and teams they shouldn't beat, they win. But I'm taking the Patriots in this one. Give me the Patriots. I think they cover because I think more likely than not we're getting a bad Falcons team once again.
Oh, and then we're going to – go ahead.
I was going to say Gordon also has the Patriots winning and covering.
And then we're going to come back next week and be like, see, they shouldn't have traded away 2 defensive players.
Yeah. They're like, we found out why now. There we go. The Falcons put up 47, whatever. Okay. The next matchup we got 1 o'clock, and it's going to be San Francisco 49ers traveling to Jersey to face the New York Jets. 1 o'clock on CBS. San Fran is a 2.5-point favorites. Gage, we know all about the Niners injuries. Now the Giants are starting to pile them up as well. What do we think here?
Another game, not looking forward to at all. The Giants have lost a lot. You lost Scatabo, you lost Neighbors, your wideout one was Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Theo Johnson. Still like Jackson Dart. He can make stuff happen. He can throw the ball pretty well, and he can run as well. But I don't like an injured-filled Giants as much as I like the injured-filled Niners. Give me the Niners in this one. Give me the points.
Yeah, I think Jackson Dart, he's pretty fun, but he's going to have Tyrone Tracy in the backfield. Obviously, not the same caliber of what Cam Scatabo was done this year. And then Wan'Dale Robinson's a decent number 2 guy. Yeah. He's not a number 1. Then you got Darius Slayton. Yeah, I don't like him. Theo Johnson, man, I don't know about Theo Johnson. I put him in for a bet to get like 2 catches earlier in the year, and he got like a half of a catch, if you could even call it that, seemed like for me. But on the other hand, I'm with you. I trust the San Francisco 49ers more with Mac Jones or with Brock Purdy, whoever's starting there. Christian McCaffrey's starting to get some stuff going on the running game. George Kittle out there. I know they got beat last week, but George Kittle starting to get into that offense a little bit more each week. Give me the Niners in this one. I like the Niners to cover. Gordon has the Niners winning, but no cover. So you must think it's going to be
a real close game.
Go for 2, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking there, but we'll see. The next matchup we got, the Denver Broncos travel to Houston to face the Houston Texans at 1 o'clock on Fox. Houston is a 1.5-point favorite at home. Gage, what do we like here?
I'm looking at this to be a defensive game. So if you're looking for a lot of points scored, don't tune into this one. Find one of the other boring 1 o'clock games to tune into. Texans defense, really good. Broncos defense, really good. Both of the offenses, iffy. This might be a little bit of a biased pick because I had the Texans defense, but I'm going to go with Houston. It's at home. Houston's the favorite. All signs are pointing at Houston winning. Probably going to be the Broncos, but I'll take the Texans in this one and give me the spread as well.
In this matchup right here, it's who do you trust more at quarterback on that side? Because you know both defenses are going to play and play well for both teams. We all know about the Houston Texans defense. We've heard about it all summer long. We've talked about it all season long so far. And Denver's defense, they give up a lot of points a couple of weeks ago to the Giants. And then they came alive in the fourth quarter. If they give up a bunch of points to the Texans, they're not going to be able to overcome this team on defense because the Texans defense are sound. They play it the way they should play it on defense. You know, they don't miss a lot of assignments. They're not like, say, let me just throw out, for example, certain defenses. Oh, the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, the Texans and the Broncos, both of them know where they need to be at all times. I think that it's at home here. The Texans are kind of getting on a little bit of a roll here. They started off slow, but I like what they're doing there so far. Give me the Texans in this one. I think the Texans win at home, and I think they cover, of course, because it's only 1.5 points. Gordon has the Texans to win and cover too, and I don't like how we're going all together on this so far. I don't know.
We're going to all end up with the same record next week.
We're all going to be, 5-7. But anyways, the next matchup we've got. The Minnesota Vikings travel to Detroit to face the Detroit Lions at 1 o'clock on Fox. Detroit is a 9.5-point favorite. Gage, I think Carson Wentz is done, right? He's out. We're back to J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
What do we think here on this one?
But Wentz out for the season now, which it's kind of like, oh, well, all right. Who do they got? J.J. McCarthy. He's back, luckily. I think the guy behind Max Brosmer, something like that.
Brosmer, I think.
What? The Vikings got to do something. They got to sign someone, trade for somebody, trade for a certain James Winston, maybe. Maybe you go and get Tyler Sucks, Spencer Rattler,
Andy Dalton,
Mr. Fantasy one-pointer, anything. They are kind of stuck right now. If this wasn't against a really good Lions team, I would probably take the Vikings because I like JJ. I like you have him throwing to Addison and Jefferson. You got Aaron Jones back in the backfield. Pair him up with Jordan Mason. But this is a really good Lions team. Offense, defense, special teams, they are good. I'm going to go with the Lions, but I'm going to take the Vikings to cover. It is a divisional matchup, and they usually play opponents really close. So give me the Lions, but a Vikings cover.
The Lions are coming off of a bye, too, as well, coming into this game right here. So that also helps a little bit. Me and you differ on J.J. McCarthy. You like J.J. McCarthy. I'm not a big fan of J.J. McCarthy. I don't see it with him yet. And we'll disagree on that for now. Maybe in the long run, you could prove me wrong. But right now, I don't see it. But he's back. He's getting another chance at it. He lost because of injury. No big deal. He could have played last week. They probably wish he would have played last week the way Carson Wentz played. Carson Wentz last week was just like I don't know. He looked like in pain like the whole game. That's kind of the way the Vikings fan look too in that game, actually. Uh, Detroit's coming off of the bye. I like Detroit to win this game. I think they win. I'm with you. I think they win by about a touchdown. But the Vikings defense is really good. They're probably going to hold Detroit to under their season average, but Detroit's going to win this game. I got the Lions, and Gordon's got the Lions, and the Lions cover. So the next 1 o'clock matchup we've got, and speaking of Gordon, the Carolina Panthers travel to Green Bay to face the Green Bay Packers at 1 o'clock on Fox. Green Bay is a 13.5-point favorite. Gage, is Andy Dalton starting again?
I don't know, but I got to take a second to go back to last week's game. Panthers Bills. I want to apologize first and foremost to Bills Mafia and all of Bills fans, coaches, players, staff members, front office people, because I came on this podcast and said Panthers over the Bills, and it's going to be super funny when we come back next week and the Panthers won. Well, Andy Dalton could not red rocket his way out of the Bills. So public apologies. Panthers, you suck. Give me the Packers on this one, and give me the Packers to cover. Bryce Young, Andy Dalton starting, don't matter. Is it Chuba Hubbard or is it Rico Dowdle getting more carries? Probably doesn't matter either. Just throw the ball to McMillan, and I'm happy. Give me the Packers. Give me the points.
Last week I talked about on here the Panthers and the Bills, where one of two games where both teams had winning records. Boy, that's out the window now, isn't it? The Panthers are now 4-4. Just when you think, hey, there's a chance they're turning things around here, they can compete for a playoff spot, a wild card playoff spot. They shut out the Falcons. You know, they look good at home against all the home games, and then the Bills come in and just smack them down. Andy Dalton, people from the Bengals were wanting to trade for Andy Dalton when Joe Burrow went down. We see that was kind of a silly thing for some Bengals fans. It wasn't this Bengals fan, but some Bengals fans. The Packers looked really good last week on Sunday night, offensively for sure. Defensively, they kind of give up a little bit, but I think that's more indicative on the Steelers' offense. I think they got a pretty good offense. But give me the Packers in this one. I think they win. I think they cover. They may win this by 3 touchdowns, especially, the way the Panthers play on the road for sure.
I feel like you were trying to soften me up there with a little bit of a Steelers compliment. And you know what? I appreciate it.
Anytime, buddy. So the next matchup we've got on here, the Jacksonville Jaguars travel to Vegas to face the Las Vegas Raiders at 1 o'clock on Fox. Jacksonville is a 2.5-point favorite on the road. Gage, what do you think here?
Raiders suck. Go Jags. Jacksonville by 2 touchdowns. Give me the Jags and them the covers.
These two teams right here, Jags have not played really well the last few weeks, have they?
No, but we're going against a team that has absolutely not played well either. Kenny Pickett, don't matter. Geno Smith, don't matter. What do you got? Ashton Genty? Well, cool. What else you got?
Nothing. Brock Bowers, I'm pretty sure, still out. Max Crosby?
As a Steelers fan, one player does not make a defense.
Definitely not. But I'm with you here. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars win this game because the Raiders somehow early this season beat the Patriots in New England. Let's go back and redo that game and see how that turns out, right? But yeah, I think Jacksonville wins. Gordon's got Jaguars' possibility of not covering. So, I don't know what he's going with there, but
I feel like we got to jump back to the Packers game. You didn't say whose Gordon pick was. Did he pick the Panthers?
Yeah. Gordon's pick is let me check here, check notes. Gordon picked he picked the Packers. Yeah, he picked the Packers. But he didn't say cover or not cover there. He doesn't like to say cover because he thinks it's a superstition thing for him. Because if he's like, they cover, and then the Panthers come out, and, I doubt that, though. If he does, I mean, what's that Panthers podcast where they quit because they were losing too much? The Now Mix?
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but yeah, that they'll come back. We'll have to get them on the show if Panthers win.
Yeah, be like, hey, welcome back, Meow Mix, to the podcasting world. I think that's the name of it. Maybe not. If so, I mean, it's whatever. Our last 1 o'clock matchup we have, and it is the Indianapolis Colts travel to Pittsburgh to face the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1 o'clock on CBS. Indy's a 3.5-point favorite. here at Heinz Field. No, it's not. I know it's not Heinz Field, but Chris Berman called it the big ketchup bottle there for so many years. Gage, you like your team's chances here as the underdog at home this week?
So I will say, I will be working during this game on Sunday. Thank God, because I don't know if I want to watch this game. The Colts on offense, they average 385 total yards per game. If the Steelers hold them to 385, their season average on defense will go down. The Steelers average 386 yards given up per game. Jonathan Taylor, this is going to run through him. The Steelers' run defense has been atrocious recently. They kind of held Josh Jacobs in check, which was cool until late. Jacobs got a late touchdown, but the game before that, Chase Brown. So I don't know. Corners, I don't understand where the receiving core of Indianapolis comes from. They got Michael Pittman Jr., which is cool. Josh Downs gets a lot of catches, not a lot of yards. Alec Pierce is usually good for one deep ball a game. Yep. This is the Daniel Jones effect, which didn't think I'd be saying that in the Big 2-5. I don't know where this team has come from. Jonathan Taylor is the MVP frontrunner right now. A running back is the MVP frontrunner. When's the last time that happened? It's been a long time. I'm trying to think. Maybe LaDainian Tomlinson might have done it. I'm not too sure outside that. Maybe there was one in 2010s. I don't know. I don't know the MVPs off the top of my head. But I'm going to do what I should have been doing all season. We're going to go against the Steelers. So this way we can get a win either on here or in real life. Give me the Colts in this one, and I think they'll cover as well.
Yeah, and you didn't mention Tyler Warren, who also gets a bunch of catches too at tight end, the rookie tight end. Daniel Jones has looked pretty good this year. The best he's looked since the year he got his big contract in New York. And the theme there when he was in New York, and the same theme is going here in Indianapolis. Who was his running back that year that didn't get hurt? It was Saquon Barkley. The only year Saquon wasn't hurt was Daniel Jones' best year. Now he goes to Indy. He's got Jonathan Taylor, one of the best running backs in the league, the MVP frontrunner. You mentioned MVPs running back. Last one I remember, Sean Alexander won back in the early 2000s. That may be the last running back for MVP. I'm not sure. Mostly quarterbacks get it. But I like this to be kind of, I think Pittsburgh's going to score some points in this game. I think the Colts are going to score a lot of points in this game too. I think the over is going to hit in this game. Give me the Colts in this one, of course, because, that's just a juggernaut right now on offense. I like the Colts to win. I like the Colts to cover. I think they win by about a touchdown on the road. Give me the Colts. And Gordon picks the Pittsburgh Steelers as his dog pick of the week. Gordon has the Steelers winning at home.
Well, you know what? Gordon's actually been pretty good with his picks to me. So look forward to. I'm not too sure. We mentioned running back MVPs. Sean Alexander in 2005, and then LT in 2006. Adrian Peterson in 2012. How could we forget that one? 2 yards and 12 rushing touchdowns.
He wouldn't be in the news lately for anything, would he?
No, anyways. Not at all.
Anyways, let's go to the next game before we. Yeah. All right, the next matchup, the New Orleans Saints travel to L.A. to face the L.A. Rams at 4:05 on Fox. The Rams are a 14.5-point favorite. Gage, I'm pretty sure Tyler Shuck is quarterback in this game for the Saints. If he's quarterbacking for the Rams, there's some problems there. But what are we thinking here?
You know what? We haven't done it yet. There's not a lot of games left. I did it earlier in the season. Fired on me. Tyler Shuck getting his first start. You're going to have Olave, probably going to have Shaheed. Got a lot of Kamara action. Underdog pick of the week. Give me the loss already in the win-loss column. Give me the Saints in this one, and obviously they cover. Screw it. Why not? Underdog pick of the week. The New Orleans Saints in LA.
Wow. So, you got the Saints there. The Rams is Puka playing this week? I'm not sure. I haven't. Kyron Williams, I think he's playing. So the Tyler Shuck experience begins with an upset, according to Gage. I'm not rolling with him on this one. I'm going Rams, but I think they'll cover. Moral victory for the Saints on the road. They stay within 10. but the Rams ultimately win this game. Gordon has the Rams as well winning this game.
I'm also taking a Saints defensive touchdown in this game.
Saints defense?
Or special teams touchdown. They're kind of one and the
Either
same.
way, yeah, it counts the same fantasy-wise,
Yeah.
defense or special teams. All right. Well, hey, I wasn't expecting that, but here we go. Our final 425 matchup, and it's a big one. The Kansas City Chiefs travel to Buffalo to face the Buffalo Bills at 425 on CBS. Kansas City's a 2.5-point favorite. Gage, which quarterback will Tony Romo be drooling over more in this game? Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen?
Well, I'm going to say Josh Allen because I feel like he loves Josh Allen. And Chris Collinsworth is kind of like, he's a little Mahomey out here.
Oh, Mahomes.
The Chiefs, I like what they got going on. You got Rashee Rice back, throwing Xavier Worthy, got a little Travis Kelce going on finally. The thing that's going to affect them the most is the run game. You got Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco not playing. So Kareem Hunt, Rashard Smith are you're going to be your 1 and 2. How's that going to pan out? It's either going to pan out really well and Kareem Hunt's going to take over, or it's going to pan out really bad and you'll see Hunt go, 10 for 30 and Rashard Smith like 12 for 45 and maybe add in like 3 catches for 8 yards. Meanwhile, the Bills, they surprise me week after week. Win or loss, they surprise me week after week. They got a great running back. They got James Cook. Receiving game, just like the Colts, they don't really have that star-named player. Khalil Shakir, not a star name. Dalton Kincaid, not a star name. Dawson Knox, not a star name. But you know what is a star name? Josh Allen. Defensive-wise, I think the Chiefs are better as well. I think this is going to be a great game. This might actually be game of the week, unlike that one that you started out with. I don't know what the thought process was in that one. But give me game of the week. Chiefs take down the Bills, but I'm expecting I don't know what the over-under is. I'm going to assume probably 55.5. I'm smashing the over.
Yeah, this game right here it's going to be a good game. Game of the week, definitely for sure in this one. Chiefs have been playing really good, looking like, Super Bowl contenders once again. The Bills, they got smashed a couple weeks ago by the Falcons, went on the bye, come back, and then beat down the Panthers, who we thought were a decent team. Some people may have picked them to win that game on this podcast last week. That's how much we thought about them at that point in time. But obviously not. The Bills, this game is in Buffalo. It's going to be wild. The Bills, if this was in January, I've got the Chiefs winning this game. This game is in November. I got the Bills winning. I think the Bills win this game. I think they cover because they're the underdogs. Give me Buffalo to win this game only because it's in the regular season. Like I said, if it's in the postseason, you can't go with Josh Allen and the Bills in the postseason. But this isn't postseason, it's regular season. Give me the Bills. Gordo has the Bills as well in this one.
Yeah, I think that's the first actual game where I'm not fooling around that we've disagreed on.
Yeah, I think so. So we got all the way to the last one of 425. Our Sunday night matchup, we've got the Washington Commanders. Well, okay, no. This is a battle of teams from Washington. The Seattle Seahawks, Washington State, travel to Landover, Maryland to face the Washington Commanders at 8:20 on NBC. Seattle's a 2.5-point favorite in this one. Gage, what do we think here? Is Jaden Daniels back this week, or do we know? I mean, this point spread's kind of low for, I don't know, maybe it's not for Jaden Daniels being out.
He is apparently supposed to be in. He's supposed to play against the Seahawks. Hamstring will start. So my only question is he going to be a little rusty? Is he going to get hurt again? Will there potentially be RG3 comparisons like there have been, the past few weeks? The Seahawks, they've been rolling. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Zach Charbonnet, even Kenneth Walker have been great all around. Receiving core, even the guys that you don't know, outside of JSN, oh my gosh, he scored his first touchdown against the Steelers. Oh, yes. Receiving core, Torrey Horton as well can, make a big play here every once in a while. I like the Seahawks, even with Jaden Daniels starting. Bill Krusky-Merritt for the Commanders has not been good. I may have had him in a bet last week to hit 50 rushing yards, and he may have only had like 25. So I'm a little bit salty about that. That's not really affecting the pick, though. I would have gone Seahawks no matter what. Give me Seattle. Give me the points as well for them to cover.
Yeah, so Seattle has looked really good this season. Sam Darnold, not a fluke. Jackson Smith and Jigba, A.J. Barner, Terry Horton, here's a who, as you mentioned. Renee, Kenneth Walker. I mean, this team's got it all on the offense for sure. They look pretty good right now. Coming all the way across country, not that big of a deal because they were on a bye last week, so they had 2 weeks to prepare for this. RG3 is coming back this week to play quarterback, after his injury last week. I know what I said. It's Jaden Daniels, but he's getting comparisons to RG3 because this is the same thing that happened with RG3. Can't stay healthy. You mentioned Bill Krusky-Merritt. He was phenomenal the first part of this season. I mean, playing really well until one guy on this podcast picked him up for their fantasy team, and he has done nothing since he's been put in the fantasy lineup. I think it continues again this week, unfortunately. He's in my flex, but I got to have him in my flex because everybody else is on the bye.
Yeah.
I think Seattle wins this game. I think that they cover that spread because Seattle's looking pretty good right now. They may win that NFC West. And we didn't even really talk about them much in the preview of that. We thought it was going to be Rams-Niners, which it still could be, but I think Seattle's kind of in the driver's seat for that. Give me the Seahawks.
And it helps as well when Seattle's the healthiest team in
Yes.
the entire division. They still have their quarterback.
Yeah. That's a big deal right there, But yeah, I like Seattle to win. I like them to cover. Gordon has Seattle and no cover. So,
man, he's really taken a lot of these like close spreads. I like it. I do.
I think he's thinking like maybe one of them's going to kick an extra point at the end, and I don't know. The other one's going to get blocked. I don't know. It's happened several times. The next matchup we got on Monday night, the Arizona Cardinals travel to Dallas to face the Alice Cowboys, as was been mentioned on here, at 8:15 on ABC and ESPN. Dallas is a 2.5-point favorite. Gage, what are we thinking on this one?
So looking at Kyler Murray status updates, depends on which source you go from. ESPN 1 day ago, Cardinals preparing Murray to start versus Cowboys. Yahoo Sports 6 hours ago, Kyler Murray remains limited with Jacoby Brissett getting first-team snaps. 6 hours ago from Arizona Sports, Cardinals Kyler Murray starting versus the Cowboys feels far from a given. I'm going to roll with Jacoby Brissett as the starter here. So with that being said, this spread should probably be even larger. I'm going to go with the Cowboys in this one. Even if Kyler was starting, I would still take the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys offense. The Cardinals, that offense runs, I hate to say it, through a tight end, but Trey McBride. He's the favorite target of both Kyler and Jacoby. Running game, you got, I believe, Bam Knight is going to be the starter for at least this week until Trey Benson comes back potentially next week. We don't even know about that. But Bam Knight, starting running back for the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett, probably the starting quarterback for the Cardinals. Wide receiver 1, he's got to have a breakout sometime. Marv Harrison Jr. And in the Cowboys, you got CD, you got Pickens. Even after getting blown out last week, I'm not going to change my thoughts about him. Give me the Cowboys. Give me the cover.
You mentioned Marvin Harrison Jr. has to have a breakout at some point. In the offseason, I've got it planned out here. We're going to do an award show of our own. And right now, he is the front runner for the Kyle Pitts Award for 2025 is Marvin Harrison Jr. So, but Kyler Murray starts. Jacoby Brissett starts. It doesn't matter. I think I'm with you. I think Jacoby's going to start. Man, we got Black Ops 7 coming out in a few weeks. So before long, it's going to be Jacoby's team. We had Battlefield come out a few weeks ago. So Black Ops 7's coming out soon. So that's going to be the end of that. But right now, he's just kind of, maybe he's getting mentally prepared for Black Ops 7. I don't know. The Cowboys, on the other hand, they got CeeDee Lamb. They got handled last week pretty easily. But offensively, they still look pretty good. They still put up some points. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to put up a lot of points this week. Dallas's offense is really fun. It's an adventure on defense, So I like Dallas to win this one, and I think Dallas covers the spread here. I think they win big, actually. I think they win by double digits in this game. I'm with you. I think this spread should be a lot higher than what it is. Only 2.5. And Gordon has the Cowgirls cover, as he puts.
I can't believe that doing this episode, this podcast is how I learned that Black Ops 7 is coming out soon.
I'm just educating the audience out here on things. So, yeah, Black Ops 7 is coming out soon. And the Cardinals will be a Jacoby Brissett-led Cardinals team for the rest of the season.
I can say I have not really kept up with Call of Duty since like Black Ops 4. So for there to be 7 coming out on November 14th, news to me. Maybe I'll have to get it. I don't know.
Yeah, so we've got, if he's coming out on the 14th, this week it'll be the 2nd. He may not play. Then you'll have the 9th. He should play on the 9th. And then the 16th, forget it, because it's coming out on the 14th. He's not playing on the 16th.
But so you know how expensive video games are? Like,
yeah,
they're pretty expensive. I expect Black Ops 7 to be $60 to $80 maybe when it comes out, depending if it's disc or digital version. I can't really afford that, but I think our listeners can help me afford it if they go and buy W Energy using our promo code yelling at w.gg. Get 10% off, get all these different flavors. I have guava grenade right now, which I don't remember what's in it. I remember guava fruit, which that's right there in the name, but it tastes pretty good. And this is the third flavor I've tried from them. I've tried the tropical blue punch and grandma's lemonade. I kind of want to try grandpa's denture water next, but actually buy that one. Guava grenade, pretty good.
Yeah, so go check us out. W.GG, use promo code yelling, save you 10%. BW, be better. And our buys for the week, we got the Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, all on buys this week.
At least it's not a lot of teams. Like last week, it felt like half the NFL was on a bye.
All of the NFC West, except for the Niners, were on a bye. And it's like the team that needs the bye to get healthy is still playing. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, they were left out.
Yeah, they were left out. But that'll do it here for our picks on this show. Gage, do you have any other topics you want to hit before we shut this thing down and start getting ready for Christmas season at Walmart and everywhere else?
Oh, man. The main thing that is coming up tomorrow night, Saturday night's main event for WWE, the CM Punk champion, baby. It's going to be Jey Uso. But CM Punk, I want as the champion. We are 1 month away, little over 1 month, from the last appearance of John Cena. We'll talk about it more as we get closer. But the Never Seen 17 time is coming to an end. 1 month. Tickets are outrageously priced. I looked into getting nosebleed, top of the stadium down there in DC. $400+ before taxes on Ticketmaster.
Whoa.
Now, it did say verified resale tickets. So that means someone had the ticket, they put it on Ticketmaster, and they're like, we're going to jack these prices up. But that was still the cheapest ticket when you sort by price.
Wow, that's crazy.
I would have loved, I don't know how many hours away I am from the stadium down there, but I would have loved to take the travel down there, leave early Saturday morning, tailgate with all the wrestling fans, buy a John Cena shirt because I don't have one that fits, and watch his last match, whoever it's going to be against. And I'm not shelling out $400+ for a ticket to where I'll have to bring my binoculars to be able to see everything.
Yeah, that's a lot to fork out to watch John Cena's last match, to see him get choked out by Gunther to end his career. But yeah, man, that's crazy. WWE ticket prices have been crazy lately from what I've read. TKO bought them out, and I think that they're just like, hey, people buy them at this price, let's jack them up. And whenever they stop buying them, maybe we'll stop jacking them up. But people keep buying them, we'll keep raising it up.
Yeah, and it's not like they need the money from these tickets. The Netflix deal, the ESPN deal, they're getting their money.
They're getting their money for sure.
And like they just announced the holiday tour schedule here last week, maybe a week and a half, maybe this week. I don't remember when. but they're coming to Pittsburgh on a holiday live show. It's not a Raw or a SmackDown or a premium live event, but it's like December 27th. They're also, I think, in Miami that day. I'm afraid to look at ticket prices. I want to go. I want to go to PPG and go watch the show, but I don't know who's going to be there. It's the same day, like I said, as they're in Miami. So obviously, not all the big stars will be in Pittsburgh. But I don't know. Ticket prices. That title of this short, ticket prices suck. There we go.
And another thing that sucks, don't forget this Sunday, clocks are going to be falling back because of daylight savings once again. So it's going to be darker earlier. Man, the only thing is hey, football. So that's good.
I feel like it's already getting dark. I looked outside Walmart yesterday at like 6:30. I was like, I can't see anything out there. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, next week that'll be 5:30. It'll be like that. It'll be like, man,
I'll be getting to work as it's dark.
Yeah, it's wonderful. That wonderful time of the year. So let us be the last to wish you all happy Halloween. And hey, it's November 1st actually right now as we're recording this officially.
But it is Halloween weekend for a lot of people, a lot of college students. Not me because I don't really party. Halloween weekend is still here. Some people are probably on day 3 of trying out costumes. They might have 3 different costumes. They might be wearing the same one. Or they might be like me and just throw a leather jacket on 5 minutes before you get to the place that you're supposed to be at, aka here, and say, this is your costume. So you never know, but people are still celebrating.
Hey, and I will be watching the same football game Saturday night with the Kentucky Wildcats as I do Sunday afternoon with Cincinnati Bengals. Absolutely no defense and probably a little bit of offense. So that's something I have to look forward to. At least you've got an exciting freshman quarterback for Pitt, and they look pretty good lately.
You know what? Mason Heinschel, don't even know if I'm pronouncing the name right. I'm really sorry. But he has been phenomenal. Eli Holstein, transfer out, buddy. Pack your bags. Go somewhere where you're wanted. Because right now, I don't want to say you're not wanted in Pittsburgh, but Mason Heinschel is outplaying you. I don't know stats so far. He's obviously not going to win the Heisman, but I think there should be maybe conversations, especially 3 out of the last 4 games are against ranked teams, top 12. We got Stanford tomorrow, or I guess today. It is midnight, so today technically, 3:30 p.m. And then the next game is against currently number 12 Notre Dame, and then currently number 8 Georgia Tech, and then why not? Let's round it out. Number 10 Miami. If he can go and win 2 of those ranked games, Heisman potential, playoff potential, I'm going to see Pitt in the playoffs for college football, hopefully.
And that's not crazy to think that they can go out and beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame hasn't been too scary this season. Georgia Tech's 8-0, but once again, you look at them and they're Georgia Tech. Like, it's Georgia Tech. You don't expect Georgia Tech to be ranked number 8 in the country and undefeated. They could get that game. I've seen both teams play. They could get that game. And then Miami, well, I mean, Miami looked pretty good, and then Loserville comes out and beats them down at Miami. So, I mean, I don't know really what kind of Miami team we have here. If you've got the Carson Beck of last year playing, Pittsburgh can win those games. I mean, those are gettable games for sure. So, hey, you never know.
But you know what? Even if they come out, they beat Stanford, they beat Notre Dame, they beat Georgia Tech, I don't care about the Miami game. Miami could blow them out 55-0. Because at that point, Pitt should still be ranked. Pitt should still make the college football playoffs. And if that's the case, there's a chance that maybe Mason Heinschel doesn't play. Maybe Desmond Reed doesn't play. Maybe they're like, you know what? We're going to rest our star guys. And Eli Holstein, put some tape out there, my friend. And maybe they don't play. Maybe Miami beats them. But I'm hoping for some college football playoffs from Pitt.
That would be pretty cool right there to make the playoffs because my team, I don't even know what they even know what that is. But, hey, I would just like to get a buyout that these college coaches are getting for sure. I mean, my goodness. Yes. Brian Kelly gets fired and still owed $54 guaranteed.
I just want to be like a good coach for like 5 years, sign an all guaranteed deal and be like, your money's mine.
Yeah.
And, get fired halfway through the season and then just go home and be like, honey, I got fired, but there's good news. I'm still getting over $50 million.
Hi, Mark Stoops. Oh, well, so on that note there, Gage, if you got anything else here,
No, I think I've gone on enough rants for the night. I think we're good to go.
I think so. And stay tuned because we're still working on the PFF. We may have something here brewing pretty soon. So check us out on that. Check us out on YouTube here. Like and subscribe. Share it if you like. Comment. Comment. We like the comments, dude.
We
I mean,
love
if you want to comment on here, dude, Linda, whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll take it. And then check us out on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, wherever Audible, wherever you get. I mean, all of them, every one of them. We're on there. Just follow us. Just check us out. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if you're anywhere except YouTube, rate the podcast 5 stars. It helps us out. We don't know how, but it helps us get into the algorithm of other sports fans like you.
Yeah. And that will do it for us on this one. And we will catch you all next week. For week 10, Gage, we'll be over halfway through the season when we get on here next week.
Crazy.
That is crazy. And we'll be on here. We will be talking about a Blue Jays World Series win. And we'll see you all next week.
Later.